Hello everyone, my name is Ovi, and today in this video we're going to have a little fun today with this one. We're going to be going over what I would, how I would rank the professions as far as my least favorite to my most favorite. So we're going to do that. That's going to be part one. Part two is going to be something of like pairing what the professions I like to pair with, or my ideal pairings would be, and then maybe with a little bit of how a little RP with it, right? Because I really like it. Oh, there goes the dog. Dog's barking. By the way, I have my window open because it's a really nice day in March. It's the temperature is great, and I love the breeze. And I'm leaving this door open, this window open. It's so nice out. Kind of makes you want to go out and touch grass, honestly. But anyway, so let's get started with my favorite professions. Now, I forgot to actually write down the gathering ones, but you see, I kind of have them in three buckets. I have the ones that I really enjoy, then I have the ones that are like meh to me, and then gathering, it's in itself like it's another little bucket. But let's start with the gathering ones. Oh my god, the dog was not barking at all, and now he's going crazy. But I'm gonna leave it in. So, with the gathering ones, I would have to say my least favorite would be skinning. Skinning. The only reason being is that I would recommend you have a beefy like a monk, like a Windwalker monk or a Havoc Demon Hunter. They can just mow these down, and then you can gather the skins, right? I kind of like more the other types of gathering, the herbalisms and the mining, because it's just you just hit it and quit it. You ain't got to fuss around with no mobs or nothing, Unless honestly, for me, money is a incentive, is a factor. If skinning is very lucrative, then yeah, I'm gonna love the hell out of skinning. Okay, so I'd go for skinning, but typically skinning would be my least favorite of the gathering ones. Then it would be herbalism, and then mining. I really love mining, especially because I remember a while back I had to make some ore, and I had to smelt it, and it was pretty cool having to gather around all these things and then smelt them and learn all these different types of bars. But now that's gone. I haven't done that with mining, but still, I love just going chinking around, ching ching ching, gathering all my ores. Getting that sound. When you gather herb nodes, is like nothing. You just pluck them and that's it. But the mining is cool. The skinning as well. You get that shearing of the skinning. So some people might find that appealing, but I would say those are my least favorite professions, because gathering can be fun for a bit, but it could be tedious. Oh my god, that's the only reason why. But out of those, I would put that's how I'd rank them. Getting last, herbalism are in the middle, and my favorite would be mining. Okay, so now we're going into I guess, the general or the crafting professions, as they would say. At the very bottom, in eighth place, and now let me say this. This is where that little bucket is of the secondary mech ones, which they kind of be sort of interchangeable. But since we got to put them in the number slot, we'll put them in the number slot. So number 8 is tailoring. Tailoring, for now 2 expansions, I've done all the crafts as far as tailoring, and I have found it very underwhelming. Probably the only thing I used my tailorer in Shadowlands was just for making the capes. Every once in a while, some other legendary cloth legendary, and every once in a while a bag, and that was it. I really didn't get any really juice out of the profession. It was really boring. Cloth was very inexpensive. So you really can't get much out of your legendaries as far as your cloth legendaries. Everybody could get in that market. I really didn't find any joy. Now for Dragonflight, nothing is really drawing my attention to tailoring. It's just a snooze fest as far as tailoring. Look at this guy. He's like, I'm so tired of listening about tailoring. I have to have a seat. Oh my god. Anyway, that's in 8th place. 7th place, we're gonna go with And let's get this guy back up. We're gonna go with enchanting. Enchanting, it's boring. Honestly, it's just boring. There's nothing fun to it. It's like anything that you have to get like I don't know, something with shatters or something fun. I just honestly I don't see the joy to enchanting. I think probably enchanting should have been eighth, but you know, whatever. This I didn't accept this. Like I did a spreadsheet like which ones I liked more for the lore and that kind of stuff, and that's how it just landed. Enchanting seventh place. Um, in the beginning, it's cool because all the stuff that you like when you upgrade and like say it's epic or whatever, then you can disenchant and get the epic reagents, right? But then after a while, that market, you know, everybody starts getting these epics and they start disenchanting them, and the market gets flooded, and so there's really no purpose for that anymore. And you just end up like I remember back in Shadowlands, we just had so much um resources. The guy I remember with the guy that I used to raid with is like, please, you need enchants, just let me know. I'm drowning in freaking materials. Just whatever you whatever you want, just let me know. I need to unload all this crap that I've just got stuffed in my bags, right? So like, you know, you can't even by the time the expansion or like a tier goes, you can't give this stuff away. It's just nobody wants it. It's not fun. So shoot, maybe I should have put it in eighth place. But anyway, it's in seventh. Okay, now we're going for sixth place. And sixth place, it's a little bit of love and hate thing with this profession because I did like it and for a certain market that it was in, but now with the region-wide auction house, it's kind of like tanked my desire to be in this profession, and that profession is inscription. Inscription was something that back in Shadowlands I was really excited for, to go around collecting all these glyphs and then being in the glyph market, you know, watching that go up and down and you know go farming those glyphs. But now with the market being region wide, that glyph market is just completely tanked. It's disappeared, and even though back when it was still wasn't region wide, yet let's say you did get that like I think it was that Zerth Mortis one that for shamans, right? It quickly tanked. Even the ones where you can get in Revendreth, the bat, or there was a couple over there. The recipe was selling like for sky high, but the actual glyphs were not selling. Again, missives and Shadowlands were sort of good, kind of good. Very competitive. Again, anybody can get into inscription. As far as Dragonflight goes, um, it's just been a complete flop far as Darkmoon cards went. Obviously, in Shadowlands, it was hot in the beginning. Then again, it died down, and it sort of had some staying power, but not really. And so I've never really found any enjoyment or fulfillment in Inscription. Not even for my own, you know, self-reliance. I could have easily not messed with that and just bought stuff off the auction house straight up. Okay, now we're going into number 5. Number 5, I'm just gonna say it. It's alchemy. Alchemy. I did love having my pocket alchemist in Shadowlands because I could buy the herbs, you know, for cheap, you know, and then just have them banked in my alchemy tune, and then whenever I needed my pots and stuff like that, I can get it from there. And it's just nice having a pocket alchemist. But as far as like, making gold or really, you know, getting any enjoyment, no, there's no enjoyment. Just hop on, pop some potions, send them over, and I'm out. That was the end of it for the profession. Now, it is very helpful because you know, and we'll go this over in the pairings. You know, there are some perks to get to being an alchemist, but for me, the cost of having to swap any of the other 4 that I'm about to mention was just not worth. You know, it didn't outweigh the other professions that I'm going to go into. So I think alchemy is right around that gray area between the top 4 and the lower 4, where for some people it will be an option, and I'll go over it in a second. But yeah, but not one I'd like to have one of my main or even alts have. You know, my main alts have. Okay, now we're gonna get into the top 4 of the professions, and these are the really juicy ones, the really ones that I like, that have a lot of robustness to them, a lot of things that you could go into. And we're gonna go with number 4, which, if you've been watching my last videos, was quite a winner as far as Dragonflight, and even in Shadowlands, honestly. And that is jewel crafting. Now, jewel crafting, as far as the gems went in Shadowlands, that was a complete bust. But the legendaries were great. They were selling like hotcakes. You know, you couldn't have them in stock. Those things were just non-stop, right? So I really enjoy jewel crafting because of the gear. That you can make really cool gear. It looks really nice. Now that's one thing I don't like about jewel crafting, is that you make these beautiful, jewelry, and you don't see it on your character. You don't see this massive Shadowgas ring or this Shadowgas necklace. These, it's pulsing and stuff like that. The reason why I like jewel crafting as far as that, and I have it on my Death Knight, is the whole, like the Arthas's or the Lich King's helm has a really beautiful, like sapphire gem right on the top of his, front of his helm. It's like so cool. Oh, like, oh wow, it's like infusing it with power, right? Or even like a Shalimorn, or these jewels that go into these weapons, that are empowering, or are like conduits and stuff like that. I really enjoy that fantasy, and just having jewel crafting on one of my mains is really cool. I like having that possibility of crafting gear. Like right now, it's really cool. Like on most of my characters have like the signets, and I love, they're all infused with like all the secondary stuff. Like if you can increase mastery, I haven't put any alchemical flavor pockets on them, but it's the place I would put. Like I like having a ring that's very empowered, that gives it that little panache to my characters, even if only I see it in my character pane, right? And I don't actually see it on my tune. But I really like jewel crafting. You have your prospecting, you have your gems, and you have your gear, and some other little things like pets and other little things. So I really like jewel crafting. Okay, now we're going to our top 3. Number 3, it's juicy, really juicy profession, and that is blacksmithing. Blacksmithing, it has your plate armor, and now in Dragonflight, finally, we have weapons, really cool weapons. So you have that. Right now, you can probably should only spec into one, but then eventually you'll get the second one, right? So if you spec into armor, and now later on you can spec into weapons, and that's basically it. All the other smelting and stuff that used to be like for mining or in mining has now gone on to blacksmithing. I wish they did have a little more crossover with, for instance, engineering. That'd be cool pairing. Like have you as a blacksmith, you make all these cool, like maybe machinery, or parts that engineers can make, right? And then they can make bigger machines, or for, I don't know, maybe some special ores for engineers that they could use. That'd be cool. But I really like blacksmithing, just the fantasy of, you're making your armor, you're making these cool weapons, right? And I really like blacksmithing. So it's pretty cool having it for my plate characters. Okay, we're gonna go into number 2. You're like, oh my god, this guy is scaring me. What is 1? Okay, number 2 is leatherworking. Now, leatherworking is another one of those juicy ones because it has leather armor and mail armor. I like having that. It's like 2 professions into one. You can cater to big segments of the population with that, and it works with your own characters. Let's say you have a leather wearer and you have a mail wearer. Well, it lets you have one with leatherworking that can benefit both, as far as like crafting armor, and then has other little things like the drums and armor kits, which would make it nice. Come on, don't get lazy on me. Stand it back up. There we go. So leatherworking, it's my main. My main is my demon hunter. So it's nice to have it on my demon hunter. Um, yeah. So with that said, and then if you're any, if you know anything about professions, you know which one is number one. So let's just get to it. Engineering. You're like, holy cow! Why the hell would you have engineering as your favorite profession? Basically, is the utility. I love utility. I love having utility in my characters. That's why Death Knight. I really like Death Knight. All the utility it has. Demon Hunters doesn't have as much as that, but it has a bit. I don't play monk as much, but I love the utility it has. When I used to level up my monk, I had a lot of fun. Paralyzing and the speed and all this rolling and stuff. I love the utility of classes, so I definitely gravitate to a profession that has a lot of that utility. Right now, the engineers, I'm hoping raid teams have an engineer that has those savior bots, because that saves you a ton of time having to run back all the way back to the boss because somebody didn't have soul stone, or I don't know, they're on cooldown. I don't know how that works because I'm not a healer, but having those little bots there and just save you that amount of time, it's a godsend. Also, since I have my demon hunters at my main, I love speed. I love getting to A and B real quick. Sometimes your heartstone is on cooldown, or going to Dalaran is not optional. You have the wormholes, especially like right now that I still have a couple of mounts that I need from Zareth Mortis. It's cool to just pop that thing and just travel all the way to Zareth Mortis, and then just hearth back to Valdrakken and the Dragon Isles, just like that. It's time saving. I love time saving. I wish I wish more characters had that kind of like that mage perk where you could just teleport the hell wherever you need to go. Right. The only thing why I don't have mage as my main, because it's doing solo content is hard on the mage. Honestly, it's the hardest class I've ever played where I'm having difficulty doing solo content. So that's why I like my demon hunter, and I like having that utility, and engineering provides that. Not only that, but anywhere I go, I can pop out Jeeves and go into my bank. It's just the utility. I love it. It hasn't been great, especially Shadowlands. It was abysmal as far as making gold, but I was willing to sacrifice that one profession slot to have all that utility. And now in Dragonflight, thankfully, there's a lot of, you can actually make some money, so make some gold. So, hey, that's a plus. For me, that's a plus, honestly. So that's why engineering is my top pick for my professions. Okay, now we're going to go into the pairings. Now, since my main is a leather class, that's why I have leather working on him, right? And I have the engineering. Now, you could basically, I would say if you wanted to, you can have your class's armor type, right? So you can have your tailoring engineering, your plate engineering. I really like that. If my main was plate, I would have him with plate and engineering. But since it's leatherworking, I have leatherworking and engineering. I just like that. That's my favorite pairing. I would think you should, if you want that utility, pair your armor type, right? Especially if it's leatherworking, or if it's like mail or leather or plate and engineering. I really like that combination. Another combination that I like, and it just happens to be that's how it happens since my main is a leather worker, is having a character with blacksmithing and jewel crafting. In Shadowlands, I love that combination. I had my paladin, which was a blacksmith and a jewel crafter. It just felt like it went together for some reason. I really like the fact that he could make jewelry. I really like the fact that he could make the plate armor. And I really liked that combination. Of course, like I said, if you want to have that utility, you can put that with engineering, and that would be fine with me too. But as far as like role playing, I really like jewel crafting with blacksmithing. And with that said, like I had said previously, I have my Death Knight, which I really like him as my jewel crafter. I would have no objections with having my Death Knight be my plate or my blacksmith as well. It actually kind of go like I was like, oh man, should I make the Death Knight the Jewel Crafter and the Blacksmith? I'm like, oh no, but that takes too much away from my Paladin, which I really like playing. It's like it's my main alt, right? And I'm like, no, I'll split it up. And for Dragonflight, I took away jewel crafting from my Paladin and I gave it to my Death Knight. So I said, okay, they both have a primary profession, and I put my Paladin has blacksmithing and enchanting. That's since I changed now to Horde, they had a racial beneficial like +5 skill for enchanting. So I said, oh, it works. But I kind of regret that now. I really like having my one character with blacksmithing and jewel crafting, but it was a compromise I made for giving my Death Knight something to do. Okay, then we're gonna go to. Well, this is another pairing that I've seen. It's very popular. Not my favorite, honestly, because I don't like those two professions. But having an alchemist and an enchanter all in one. So basically, what was that is that a lot of raiders. I noticed probably this more in raiders. They liked having those double duration for their flasks and for their potions, and then getting the gear and then disenchanting it and just selling the mats. But honestly, I don't like that pairing. But hey, if that's something that you like, you want to get that double buff on your potions, on your files. It's a nice utility. It saves you some gold, especially if you're struggling to make some gold, or you don't have that much time to play. It does save you a bit of money. But yeah, it's not fulfilling as it is as the other professions for me. So then we are going to go down to the other one, the nice pairing which I like, but I'm starting to think I want to change it up a bit. Is mining with herbalism. It's nice to be able to double up on the gathering, right? You get all these nodes. You can go left, right, and there's nodes everywhere, so you can be pretty efficient, rather than just having one gathering. But what I'm finding is that I'm leaning more towards mining being like a nice core gathering, and then pair it with something that fulfills you. Maybe even like engineering. You want to have the utility, but you want to be able to like mine on the side. That sounds like a good deal. Or if you're a blacksmith, not necessarily, to help you with your crafts. Really, I don't like doing that anymore. Really, I always thought, okay, well, I'm a leather worker, then I'll get skinny on the side, right? But I found out that it's better if you just buy the stuff off and then use it to make crafts, and that way you don't have to deal with gathering, because I really didn't enjoy gathering much. It's kind of like, hey, I want to do it for fun, just to distract myself. I'll go do some gathering, and that was that. But if you had to pair them, yeah, mining herbalism is easy. You could switch it up. I did have a druid that had mining and skinning. The only reason being because I had the travel form, and in some, especially Korthia, there was like these daily quests that left a lot of just carcasses everywhere, and you could just go there and skin to your heart's content, just non-stop skinning, because people would have to do the quest, kill a bunch of mobs, and just leave them there and go to the next one, because they had to kill like 20 of something, and everybody was there doing that quest, and it was a bonanza as far as skinning was. So I liked gathering my nodes and then going and gathering all these carcasses around these areas. So that was probably a pairing that I liked. But yeah, that's it. I think I'll leave it there. Honestly, I like the main professions. Those are the ones that I like to pair with. Mostly, it's not about optimizing. I think it's just doing what you like as far as pairings. If you like saving on alchemy, get alchemy. If you like getting disenchanting those things because you like to have your own enchants, you don't want to mess around buying expensive enchants, and go for that. If you enjoy crafting, definitely go for the for the leatherworking or the blacksmithing or the jewel crafting. Jewel crafting is kind of like for for gambling addicts, because you like to see those procs when you get those diamonds, or finding cool stuff in there, just winning the RNG lottery. So it's basically, that's it. These are just like the ones I like, and I don't think there's anything really necessary other than like doubling up on the gathering professions, which is, I think, is optimal. But other than that, that's it. So hope you enjoyed the video. I just want to make something fun, just a little bit of insight of like what I like to run with, and maybe that could give you some insight of what you might want to pick as a profession. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed all the videos recently. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.